The biggest way nihilism is wrong is that it gives meaninglessness a negative meaning. You have to distinguish here between sort of meaninglessness with a lowercase m versus meaninglessness with an uppercase M. Meaninglessness with a lowercase m is a sort of meaninglessness which sends you into a depression. And the reason it sends you into depression is because you give it a negative meaning, which of course is self-contradicting. Because if you truly realize that the world was meaningless, completely meaningless, you couldn't be depressed about it, you couldn't be negative about it, and it would not be a justification for inaction. Do you see why? Because if you're depressed about it or negative about it, or you want to now use it as a reason to destroy things, but that means you're giving it meaning. It means something to you that the world is meaningless. But that's not meaninglessness, that's meaning. So the problem here is that the nihilism doesn't go all the way. You need to take your nihilism deeper until there's a sort of a going full circle, an inversion, where you go from the lowercase m to the uppercase m, where you truly realize, oh, it's actually absolutely meaningless. That's not bad. It's not negative. It doesn't mean I should destroy things. It doesn't mean even that social institutions are bad. It doesn't even mean that constructions are bad. See, if you take nihilism as this sort of invitation to destroy things because things that are constructed are fictions and houses of cards and are illusions, and that illusion is bad, you don't get it. If you think illusion is bad, you're judging illusion, you're giving meaning to illusion. If you think the US government is bad because it's just a house of cards built on nothing but fantasies and, fairy tales we tell ourselves, from the money to the Constitution that's written on a piece of paper to the language we used to write it, you don't really understand how deeply meaningless it is. It's so meaningless that you shouldn't be pissed off at anything. If you're angsty about stuff, if you're bitter about stuff, if you hate stuff, if you want to kill people, if you're turning into a misanthropic person who doesn't like mankind, all of that you need to recognize is not true nihilism. It is a pseudo-nihilism. It is negative meaning. And that is the ego. That is the ego. And in fact, it's a less functional and more toxic ego than the ego of those people who are actually constructing these illusions and houses of cards. That is a problem. And I think that that's something that normal people, even though they won't be able to articulate this if you talk with them, they have that intuition about nihilism, is that your nihilism is like, what is it going to really do for you? It's going to send you into a depression, and it's going to make you bitter at the world. That's not a good way to live the world, and they're correct about that. You don't want to live in the world that way. Another thing that nihilism gets wrong is that you can't derive an ought from an is. So if you say that reality is meaningless, that does not mean that now you ought to do something like destroy an institution or destroy science or to kill somebody or to commit suicide. No, reality could be completely meaningless and you could enjoy it. Reality could be completely meaningless and you can buy a ticket to Hawaii and go on the beach and sip your pina colada and enjoy beautiful women sunbathing on the beach. That's perfectly compatible with true nihilism. But see, if you're doing a sort of a pseudo-nihilism, a false nihilism, then you might say, no, that's you're still part of the game and you're not, you got to actually destroy the system, man. No. Why destroy anything? Why is destruction better than creation? Why is creation better than destruction? See, if you're truly a nihilist, you're truly left in this such a neutral position that it actually frees you up to behave in any way you want. And now, if you want to destroy, if you genuinely want to destroy, and that makes you feel good, I guess, Okay, go for it. But does it? Does it make you feel good? Is that really what you want? If you think about it, you'll realize, no, I don't want that. It doesn't feel good. It doesn't make others feel good. So why would I do it? Now you can say, well, but if it doesn't make me feel good, so what? Well, can't I be a nihilist and destroy stuff even if it makes me feel bad? And of course the answer is yes, of course you can. Because nihilism completely frees you up to be any way you want. But the question is, do you actually want that? In the end, what it comes down to is just, what do you want? You're confused about what you want. That's the problem. If you cleared that up, you wouldn't be destroying things. Or you would be very careful in what you destroy. Because, I mean, certain things do need to be destroyed, like certain corrupt social institutions. They need to be questioned and reformed. Parts of them need to be destroyed. But this sort of like desire to take a wrecking ball to all of mankind, and even maybe to yourself, and even maybe destroy your own life, this is not going to be a life that you yourself want. So that's a dead end.